In today's video, we're going to review the Chanter Split Stock by MacLeod Highland Outfitters. Stay tuned. Well, hello everybody, I'm Matt Willis Bagpiper, and on this channel I make videos to make you a stronger and more confident piper. If you like this kind of content, please think about giving the video a like, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that bell icon to be notified of when I post new videos. I also teach Skype and online lessons, but more on that later. One of the problems we've all had as pipers is damaging our reeds. It's easy to do. The traditional design is, well, maybe a bit outdated at this point. The way it works currently is that every time you have to do anything, you have to take your chanter cap off, exposing the reed, and then you put it into the chanter stock. And every time that reed is exposed. Now, on many sets of small pipes, I've seen where they have a split chanter stock, where one section of the stock is tied into the bag, and another section of the stock is actually surrounding the chanter reed, like I'm doing right here. Now you have your reed sitting inside this, but protected. So when you go to remove your chanter from the bag, boom, right there, reed not exposed, way less likely to be damaged. Now, don't get me wrong, there are going to be times you need to adjust this reed in its height for tuning, but you're not going to have to do it every time you take your chanter in and out of the pipes. So the one I'm reviewing today by MacLeod Highland Outfitters, it has 5 O-rings and makes a very nice fit. I'm very pleased with how it fits in here. It's snug enough that it's definitely not going anywhere, and yet with just a bit of a twist, it comes out readily. The ferrule here is available in the black you see here, as well as nickel and imitation ivory. If you have more fancy engraved metal on your pipes, I'd probably go with the black rather than just the nickel. I think this would not stand out as much as being different. But if you have just plain white metal on your pipes or imitation ivory, those two finishes would work great. This is great, especially for children playing the pipes. This way, they don't have to worry about damaging their reed every time they're taking their pipes apart. Another great thing about this is that it fits any number of normal caps. If you want more protection than this, you can take your regular chanter cap and boom, go right over it. Whether it's just a standard, I got a wooden one here, or, a tone protector one, boom, goes right over it if you want to have all of that. So you can continue to keep your reed hydrated if that's something you're doing, or just protected. If you take a look in there, one of the things I was concerned about was that the reed doesn't have a ton of clearance. I was wondering how that affect tuning, but I've only tried it with 2 chanters, but I've played both of them for a little bit now, and I have not noticed any tuning issues being caused by this. So it doesn't seem to be an issue. That said, make sure that the reed is in nice and square. I did have the reed at a slight angle, and the edge of the reed was actually touching the body, and it made the high A in particular a little squirrely and weird. So when I straightened the reed, made sure it wasn't touching the edges, worked fine. You can also get multiple bottoms and put them on multiple chanters. So if you have more than one chanter in your life and yet you only have one set of pipes, this could be a super quick and easy way to be able to exchange chanters kind of on the fly. Another way to think about it is if you own multiple sets of pipes, you can more readily exchange your chanters between them. If both sets of pipes have this split stock in them, you can have the same chanter with that bottom exchange between the two. So like you wouldn't have to necessarily have one chanter for this one and then re-hemp it to fit the stock of another one. The independent bottoms would be able to exchange between the 2 pipes, and I don't know, that sounds pretty cool. You could even hemp up your practice chanter if you want, stick it in here and make it like a goose adapter, and yet it wouldn't be lower like so many existing goose adapters. It'd be right where you normally need it. Now that said, I'm not a big fan of geese. I actually think a drone is very important, but everyone has their methods, and if a goose is something that's been recommended to you by your instructor, you can use one of these to turn the pipes you might eventually be playing into a goose. Another thing I can imagine doing with the MacLeod Highland Outfitters split chanter stock here, that's a mouthful, but I could see having an entire pipe band outfitted with these. If everyone had one of these, for one thing, the diameter of everybody's chanter stock would be the same, which would ease up on some tuning issues, because I know from sticking a chanter in my pipes and then having to re-hemp it and put it in somebody else's, sometimes that difference in the diameter of the chanter stock itself can cause tuning issues. So as a pipe major, I could see taking one of these and being able to readily plug it into my very set of pipes, get the chanter balanced quickly, hand it back to the person who could then just pop it right into their own stock. No additional rehemping of anything, and it's going to be a little bit more sanitary than like if I stuck it into my mouth or whatever else. And given everything that's going on these days, a little bit more sanitary might not be the worst idea. So as you can see, quick to switch out, super easy, 2 different chanters. The build quality on this is very nice. It looks great. I mean, there's no combing and beating, but with a pipe bag cover over it, you're not going to see it anyways. And I'm sure it helps keep the price more reasonable. The tie-in went really easily. I had no problems. I just put the O-ring in like normal, put a hose clamp over it, and it went right in the bag just fine. It would also receive a normal string, nylon cord or whatever you're using, tie in just fine. So the attaching of the stock to the bag was as easy as any other stock. Nothing special about putting this on the bag. Well, thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you got something on this video, think about giving it a like, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that bell icon to be notified of when I post new videos. I also have a Patreon where as little as $1 a month goes a really long way to helping support the channel. You'll see names scrolling up right now of folks that contribute monthly to the channel here. I'd love to add your name to that list. There are early previews and other perks to being a patron. Go ahead, head over to my Patreon, check that out, help support the channel. I also give Skype and online lessons. Go ahead and head over to www.mattpiper.com or email me at the address you see here, and we'll get you going. I'm working with folks from all over the planet, and I hope to work with you soon. I also have a line of Command Your Bagpipe merchandise with hats and hoodies and mugs and all sorts of other things. Go check that out, get yourself some bagpipe merchandise, and let the world know that you command your bagpipe. All right, everybody, I'm Matt Willis Bagpiper, and until next time, cheers.